On our 5th wedding anniversary, I took the day off and set everything up at home, just waiting for my PE teacher husband to finish work. The doorbell rang, and the delivery guy handed me a hefty gift box, sent by Hayes, with wishes for a happy anniversary. My heart felt a rush of sweetness. I thought he'd finally come around and stopped sending those cliched flowers. I opened the box and found a gleaming gold trophy inside. Under the light, the engraving on the base was crystal clear. To the best dad in the world, Connor. Connor is my husband's name, but we're a child-free couple. An icy chill swept through me. I was about to call and confront him when his message popped up. Babe, did you get the surprise? The guys were just goofing around, saying I baby you like a daughter, so they gave me this Great Dad Award. Don't take it seriously. Impromptu faculty party tonight. Won't be home. Love you. The second I finished reading, a syrupy young voice drifted from the other end, loud enough for me to hear. Hayes, when are we leaving? I clutched the cold trophy, feeling like the biggest joke alive. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us where you're tuning in from in the comments. I froze, ears ringing. That youthful voice was a venomous thorn lodging itself in my brain. Hayes, we work at the same university, Willowbrook University in Austin, Texas. He teaches PE. I'm a counselor. Besides colleagues, only students address him that way. My heart felt clenched by an invisible hand. The pain left me breathless. My shaking thumb redialed Connor. No answer. I tried again. Same result. Numbly, I kept dialing. Finally, the call connected. Hey, babe, what's up? I told you the athletics department is having a dinner. Miss me? I'll hurry home. His voice sounded normal, but the background was eerily quiet. Nothing like a raucous faculty dinner. I steadied my voice. I got the trophy. You did. Like it. Just my buddies being dumb. Don't overthink it. He rushed to explain, a sliver of panic detectable beneath his tone. I gripped the trophy, its icy metal biting my palm. Tears pooled, but I refused to let them fall. Your friends sure are thoughtful. Getting it custom made. A trophy like this isn't something you pick up off the shelf, right? Silence stretched a few beats. Yeah. They insisted on going all out. What? Too childish for you? Connor probed cautiously. No. I wiped away a stray tear, voice cold as frost. It's nice. Good. He exhaled, utterly missing my shift in mood. Just then, that female voice returned, nearer now, petulant. Hayes, I'm starving. Babe, dinner's starting, gotta go. Promise I'll be home early. He hung up hurriedly, as though fleeing something. My arm drooped. I stared at the elaborate dishes I'd cooked, at my dressed-up reflection, at our smiling wedding photo on the wall, at the date circled on the calendar, our 5th anniversary, now a brutal joke. A sudden wave of nausea surged from my stomach. I bolted to the bathroom, dry heaving over the toilet, bringing up nothing but burning bile. One thought sharpened amid the chaos. Connor was cheating. He'd betrayed 7 years of love, betrayed the child-free vows we once swore. Back in the living room, I expressionlessly scraped every plate into the trash, then showered, scrubbed off my makeup, and changed into plain sweats. When I was done, I speed-dialed my best friend, Morgan. Connor probably has a kid out there. I need to know how much he's hidden from me. You've got the skills? Can you crack the password-protected folder on his faculty server? I knew Connor kept a multiply encrypted folder on his university-assigned network drive, labeled Coaching Resources. Once, curious, I'd asked what kind of teaching material needed Fort Knox-level security. He said it contained cutting-edge youth training data and private lesson plans, the capital he'd leverage for tenure, and couldn't leak. Back then, starry-eyed, I worshipped every spark of ambition in him. I'd agreed everyone deserves career secrets. Now the memory made me sick. I was certain that folder held every filthy secret he owned. After hanging up, I sat motionless on the couch while memories of Connor and me, from meeting to marrying, unspooled like a film. I couldn't grasp how the once poor guy who felt unworthy of a city-only daughter like me, shy, driven, vowing lifelong devotion, the one who'd suggested we stay child-free so all his love would be mine, had changed. Was I too old to keep his interest? Yet he'd wept that meeting me was the luck of 3 lifetimes. Morgan worked fast. She stayed put and hacked remotely. I'm in. Used a masked IP. The logs will show routine traffic. No break-in trail. I've mirrored access to your phone. Look when you're ready. But Serena, brace yourself. I gripped my phone, fingertips icy. The folder icon labeled Coaching Resources looked like Pandora's box. I hesitated a long while, sucked in a breath, and tapped it open. No lesson plans, only subfolders named by date. I clicked the earliest, from a year and a half ago. In the photos, Connor stood beside a plainly dressed girl sporting a timid smile. I recognized her, Brielle, a scholarship student in my cohort, personally funded by me for 2 years of tuition and living costs. Back then, Connor had brought her to my attention. He said he'd noticed her in PE, frail, withdrawn, apparently dirt poor, and asked if I could keep an eye out. I'd praised his big heart, his dedication to students. Now I saw it had all been premeditated. I scrolled on. The camera angles shifted from innocent teacher-student shots to increasingly intimate frames. There's a photo of Connor gently dabbing sweat from her forehead, one of their silhouettes side by side in a forgotten corner of the track, watching the sunset, and a close-up he took of Brielle's dazzling smile. Every frame is soaked in love, the kind of look I once thought was mine alone. It hits me. I haven't asked Connor to take a picture of me in ages. Each time I did, he did it half-heartedly, and the woman in his lens always looked tired and faded. Inside the album is also a clip, clearly shot on the sly. Coach Hayes is so sweet to Brielle. He runs every lap beside her, says he's helping her regulate her breathing. Right. When we ask for pointers, he always claims he's too busy. In the clip, Brielle lowers her head, shy, while Connor glances back at the camera and warns, "Quit the gossip," though the grin in his eyes gives him away. My fingers clamp around the phone. Roll back half a year, my birthday. Connor said the athletics department had an off-campus training day and never came home. In that same locked directory are photos from that night, taken in the little apartment I rented for Brielle in Golden Heights, a luxury building near campus, candles lit, the two of them kissing. Caption, early birthday surprise for my little princess. My birthday had become his surprise party for his mistress. Morgan texts, Serena, you hanging in there? I stare at those obscene photos and clips, heart flayed open, yet strangely dry-eyed. I'm fine, I reply, just figuring out how to make him pay. Who is this Brielle? A poor student I bankrolled for 2 years. A cold smile tugs at my lips. Connor used to complain about her to me, said she was withdrawn, didn't fit in, asked me to mentor her. Morgan fires off a string of exclamation marks. Exactly. Connor had always performed the part of a caring teacher, worried about a troublesome teen. He'd say, that Brielle is so delicate. She cried in the corner after practice today. What a headache. He'd say, sweetheart, talk to her. Girl to girl works better. I'm clueless. Back then, fool that I was. I admired his sense of duty. I sought her out again and again, bought her new clothes, urged her to believe in herself. Now I see, I was their alibi and their ATM. Scheming bastards deserve an Oscar. Morgan curses. A soft ping. The folder syncs a new file. A clip. Today's our anniversary. Coach Hayes gave me this. Love it. He says we're rehearsing for when I have his baby. He'll be the best daddy. Brielle, in a white sundress, the slightest swell beneath, hugging the gold trophy aloft, burrows into Connor's arms. He folds her in, kisses her forehead. When your belly's bigger, we won't be able to hug like this. Then you'll carry me every day. Deal? Carry you forever. I glance at the identical trophy on our mantle and let out a bitter laugh. More photos upload. Connor crouched, ear to Brielle's stomach. Baby kicked. Did daddy hear? Brielle curled against his shoulder, the two of them poring over a parenting guide, starting to prep for our future, so blissful. Cut to a sonogram, gestation weeks. Fetal heartbeat in crisp black and white. You little devil. You know I have to go home to that hag tonight. Yet you parade around in next to nothing. Connor's voice, thick with lust. So go home, or stay. Your baby and I both need you. Brielle syrupy sweet. After that, visuals and sounds too graphic to stomach. I slam the phone dark. My ashen face reflected on the blank screen. I swallow the sour lump in my throat, limbs buzzing numb. I remember when we chose the child-free life. Connor vowed, babe, you're my whole world. A kid would only steal the love you give me. No thanks. I was touched, knowing he was a self-made man from a humble background. I thought renouncing kids proved he adored me beyond reason. Truth. He didn't reject children, only children mine. Serena. Morgan calls. Did you notice the curtains? They're the other colorway of the ones I helped you pick. I checked. Buildings called Golden Heights, right next to campus. Rentals aimed at young couples. Good. I stand. Let's go. I need to see with my own eyes the love nest he's built. Morgan and I pull up to Golden Heights. It's a high-end tower, security tight. One call from Morgan and we have his unit. 1314. How poetic. At the door my heart jackhammers. Palms slick. Am I ready to witness the ugliness? Will it hurt me more or shame him worse? I catch Morgan's wrist before she knocks. Wait. One last call. A final chance. The ringtone echoes in the hush. Through the wood we hear his phone trill inside. Don't answer. You promised me tonight. Brielle whines. Connor sounds irritated. Sweetie. She's paranoid. If I don't call back, tomorrow's a nightmare. When will you divorce her? My bump keeps growing. Our baby can't be a bastard forever. Soon. Babe. Soon. Her old man's health is shot. I'm counting the days till he croaks. Once the inheritance lands, I'll dump the frigid cow, okay? At his curse on my father, the last thread of mercy inside me snaps. I bite my lips so hard I taste blood, body shaking, folding into Morgan's arms. Morgan steadied me, and we retreated to a nearby stairwell. She was grinding her teeth. That ungrateful bastard. If your parents hadn't paid off his family's debts, because you were so head over heels, and pulled strings to get him hired at Willowbrook, he'd be nothing, and now he dares to curse your father? Connor was the textbook self-made man from a modest background. I came from money. He came from nothing. My parents fought our marriage tooth and nail. Love-addled me threatened to cut them off. They finally caved. After the wedding my parents still gave him the cold shoulder. Yet for my sake they helped him every step of the way. When Dad got sick a few years back, they begged me to divorce him, swearing Connor couldn't be trusted. I refused, and Dad's condition worsened from the anger I'd believed that, toward our home, Connor at least felt gratitude. I never dreamt he could be this vicious. My heart hammered. I lifted my head. Bloodshot eyes blazed with revenge. I'll see that pair of dogs ruined. Bursting in on them would be too merciful. Morgan and I hatched a cleaner plan. She called a housekeeper she knew, sent her posing as building management to inspect the pipes. The moment the door cracked, the pinhole camera taped to the woman's blouse captured everything in HD. Connor, shirt off, Brielle in his dress shirt, half buttoned, hair a mess. I uploaded the clips and photos, plus the entire contents of his password-protected folder, to the cloud. When it was done, almost in a trance, I opened the shot of him kissing Brielle and left a comment beneath it, wishing the two of you 100 years of bliss. Then I dragged Morgan to her newly opened studio. Serena, you loved him so hard you lost yourself, Morgan said, pouring me a glass of red. Starting tonight, live for you. For years my universe had revolved around Connor. To spare his feelings, I'd even drifted from my best friend. I drained the glass. Tonight we drink till we drop. We talked for hours, emptied bottle after bottle, and finally, I passed out on her studio couch. I woke to a phone full of missed calls and WhatsApp messages from Connor. I opened our home security app with lazy fingers. On the feed, Connor saw my comment in the locked directory. His face went chalk white, and he frantically dialed Brielle. Did you put that comment there? Not you. Then who? Impossible. You didn't show those photos to anyone, right? Fear pitched his voice into a shriek. Whatever she answered made him frown and exhale. Okay, I'm not blaming you. We just have to be careful. Later, he hung up and immediately called me. I let it ring a long while before I answered. Casual as you please. Sweetheart, where are you? You didn't come home all night, and you weren't picking up. I was going crazy. The words reeked of guilt. I gave a soft laugh. Yesterday was our anniversary. You never showed, so I drank with Morgan. Sorry, babe. The athletics department insisted on a dinner. Save it. I cut in. I understand. A pause. Then, cautiously, babe, that folder on my faculty server. You haven't seen it, right? I watched the second hand circle the wall clock before replying. Nope. Besides, you password protected it, didn't you? He forced an awkward chuckle. Right. Jumping at shadows. Where are you? I'll pick you up. Don't bother. I'll be home soon. The call barely ended before Morgan rang, voice crackling with excitement. Serena, I've got bombshell intel. Spill. That Brielle, not some scholarship kid. I pulled her spending history. She drops tens of thousands on designer gear every month. I raised an eyebrow. No surprise there. Plus, one of my clients, a trust fund kid, was whining that his dad might be keeping a college girl. I asked for pics. Guess who? I jumped up, cruel grin spreading. Don't tell me. Brielle again? Yep, her. Morgan squealed. My jaw hit the floor. She's a full-blown pro. I hustled over to her hotel logs for the last 6 months. Girls booked rooms with a rotation of men, all loaded, CEOs, even a mid-tier director. I shrugged. She's using Willowbrook as her hunting ground. Professional grade. Big appetite. 2, more than 1 at a time, Morgan snorted. My trust fund client says daddy wires her $100,000 allowance every month. I did the math. Connor's monthly salary couldn't cover a tenth of that. Connor doesn't know, thinks he found a true love, but he's just the broke fish in her pond. He's not only raising her unborn kid, he might be bankrolling her with your parents' money. The thought of Connor spending my family's cash to spoil that girl turned my stomach. Hey, Serena, the trust fund kid wants someone to rough up his dad, and Brielle asked if I know anyone. Should we? Great minds, bestie. Exposing Connor wasn't enough. Letting him watch Brielle climb into another man's car, that would be poetry. Connor, you thought you'd captured youth and true love. But your little crown is already green. I'm going to make you crush the hope you treasure with your own hands. The scheme rolled forward without a hitch. After that folder comment, guilt had him glued to me. He even skipped his beloved pickup games. The moment I asked him to help a friend getting cheated on, he swore to protect me. No questions asked. Showtime. I fired up a live stream titled POV, helping my bestie catch a homewrecker, and the viewers poured in. Sweetheart, stay right behind me when we go in. Don't rush ahead. If that guy gets violent, I need to be able to shield you. Connor pulled me behind him, looking for all the world like a knight in shining armor. I sneered inwardly, shoved him aside, and charged first. Together with the trust fund kid, I slammed my heel into the hotel room door. Inside, a middle-aged man with a balding comb-over was pinning Brielle to the bed. The crash startled him limp. He rolled off and hit the carpet in a tangle of limbs. You shameless pig, sleeping around behind my back. The trust fund kid's mother, a perfectly preserved socialite, stormed in and slapped him left, right, left again. Everything on the nightstand clattered to the floor. Brielle shrieked and burrowed under the comforter, trembling, feigning kindness. I stepped forward to straighten the quilt for her, only to have her clutch it like a lifeline. Honey, let me handle this. The man dropped to his knees, jabbing a finger at Brielle. That vixen seduced me. It's all her fault. When I couldn't tug the blanket free, Connor hurried over to help. Babe, I'll expose this little tramp for you. With a dramatic yank, Connor uncovered Brielle, leaving her stark naked. I instantly tossed a bath towel over her to keep the live stream from being shut down. Wait. You? Coach Hayes. Connor froze. Mouth agape. Brielle stared back, equally stunned. You two know each other? I widened my eyes theatrically. And no, Connor muttered, avoiding my gaze. Well, maybe she's one of our students at Willowbrook. Oh. So this is the Brielle you keep mentioning, the one you said would do anything for a scholarship. Sweetie, you really are perceptive. You spotted her true colors ages ago. I gave him an enthusiastic thumbs up. Brielle shot him a poisoned glare. I raised my phone, lens fixed on her. He's not your only client, is he? I jerked my chin toward the balding man. I've got photos of you checking into half the hotels in Austin with different guys. Time management queen, your little black book must be crammed. I flung the printouts Morgan had compiled straight at Brielle's face. Connor instinctively craned to look. When he realized none of the pictures showed him, relief fluttered across his features. Too bad for him, every micro-expression was being captured live. Morgan piled on, hey, isn't this the Brielle who books my photo shoots? No wonder you always have cash for new gear. And that belly, whose quarterly bonus is growing in there. The comment feed exploded with a queen of hearts, side hustle queen, professional girlfriend. Connor's complexion turned ashen. Veins bulged at his temples, sweat beading despite the AC. Oh dear. Honey, what's wrong? You're dripping. Are you that worried about your student? I cooed while swiveling the camera toward him. He threw a hand up to block the lens. It's nothing. Just hot in here. Instantly the chat flipped. That dude is so guilty. $10 says the kid is his. Didn't his wife just call him a human lie detector? Yeah. I proclaimed to the camera. We're the textbook child-free couple, madly in love, devoted only to each other. Don't smear my husband with baseless rumors. Connor, tell them, I said, shoving the phone inches from his face. His sweat went into overdrive. Why yes, I love my wife more than anything. Viewers roasted us. Deluded wife, keep performing. Sis, let's see how long you believe your own script. Connor couldn't even read the comments anymore. He drifted behind me, and when no one was looking he fixed Brielle with a venomous stare that made her shiver. Seeing it, I practically glowed inside. The socialite broke the hush. This isn't ending here. I'll make sure both sluts are ruined. I pretended to check the chat while following our script. The internet agrees. Call the cops. Charge them with solicitation. The balding man collapsed at his wife's designer heels. Please, sweetheart. No police. I don't want jail. Brielle, wild-eyed, scanned the room, then lunged for Connor and hugged his legs. Coach Hayes, help me. You promised. I can't go to prison. Every gaze snapped to them. Let go. We're hardly acquainted. Face your own consequences. He tried to shake her off, but she clung like ivy. I lifted my cell, thumb hovering over 911. With a shriek, Brielle slapped the phone away and shoved me hard. Morgan caught me before I hit the ground. Connor, I'm carrying your baby, your own flesh and blood. You can't abandon us. The sentence cracked like thunder. The room fell dead silent. I pressed a trembling hand to my chest. Honey, is it true? Did you betray me? Ridiculous. Don't listen to her. She's dragging me down with her. He grabbed my wrists. Frantic. How could she be pregnant by me? Oh, really? In bed you called me your little sweetheart. Said you were sick of your dried up wife? That she's shapeless. face. Boring. That touching her repulsed you. Each word stabbed deeper. My nails bit crescents into my palms. Morgan squeezed my arm, lending me her strength. I wouldn't fall. This show had only just begun. The chat was pure chaos. Plot twist, side chick outs the husband. Poor queen, lied to right in her face. Why is he so sure it's not his? Guilt's written all over him. Connor suddenly lunged forward and slapped Brielle hard across the face. His features twisted as he screamed, "You filthy bitch. Shut your mouth. Quit splashing me with dirty water." Clutching her cheek, Brielle let out a shrill, broken laugh. "Here are the photos from when we slept together. And this is last week's prenatal checkup. 3 months pregnant already. Connor, you planning to deny it?" She flung a stack of photos and a sonogram onto the nightstand. Incontrovertible evidence. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the room. "Actually," I said softly into the sudden hush, "most of you probably don't know that my husband has a physiological defect." I pointed to Connor. "The doctor said his chances of fathering a child are practically nil." Every gaze snapped instinctively toward Connor's beltline. The balding man was first to react, letting out a booming guffaw. "But he shoots blanks and still screws around, taking fatherhood tests for some other stud without knowing it." Ha! Brielle collapsed to the floor, white-faced and whispering, "Impossible. Impossible." I helpfully reminded her. "Notice how he insists on pitch-black darkness each time and never lets you near certain areas. You thought it was kink, really? He's hiding that birth defect." My cool recital drew sympathetic sneers toward Connor. Mocking laughter scoured his last grain of composure. Eyes bloodshot, he sprang like a maddened animal, clamping his hands around Brielle's throat. "Talk. Whose spawn is it? Tell me." Her lips split, bleeding. She could barely breathe. I pulled him off. "Easy, our fists won't change biology. That baby could still be yours." Doctors said almost zero. Not absolutely zero. Connor turned, red-eyed, then dropped to his knees and wrapped his arms around my legs, weeping. "I was wrong, honey. I lost my head. I'm sorry. Just this once. Please forgive me. It'll never happen again." I stared at his pathetic bulk and remembered 7 years ago. Before a different set of witnesses, my parents, he had knelt exactly like this and sworn to cherish me for life. I believe he once loved me. That's why the pain now feels so sharp. But he who betrays true love deserves the abyss. A laugh escaped me. When we married, my parents opposed it. I threatened suicide until they relented. We agreed to stay a child-free couple. And you swore you loved me so much you couldn't bear sharing me with a child. I believed you, Connor. I naively thought our love could conquer anything. Love has a shelf life, and sincerity can rot. I'm sorry, baby, really sorry. Give me one more chance, he wailed, forehead thumping the carpet. Let's divorce. From my purse I produced the prepared divorce papers and held them out. You walk away with nothing. The house, the cars, every scrap you own, my family paid for it. Go back where you came from. Seeing the papers, he snapped upright. Today was all your setup? I nodded calmly. Serena, after everything, you'd humiliate me in front of the entire country, he snarled. My anger ignited. Who humiliated whom? Connor, the moment you crawled into her bed and wished my father dead. You turned me into the biggest joke alive. I flashed the trophy photo. Best father-to-be? Whose face were you slapping? Connor spun toward Brielle, teeth clenched. You did this? She wiped blood from her lip and sneered. Yep, you wouldn't file, so I helped your wife speed things along. You goddamn tramp. Think you're special. Just another free ride any guy can hop on. Dream on clawing your way up. His mouth dripped venom. I'd heard enough. Sign. I'm done watching dogs bite dogs. Serena, still live streaming, I said, wiggling Morgan's phone. The nation is watching. Choose your next words carefully. Connor glanced at the comment feed scrolling. Cheaters deserve ruin, and make him sign. With a defeated slump he took the pen and scratched his name. Outside the hotel I inhaled cool night air, life flooding back into my lungs. The socialite approached, admiration shining in her eyes. Hayes, today was next level. Respect. I smiled, feeling weightless. May none of us ever need moves like these again. That night the hotel called the police. Minutes after signing, Connor lost control, beating Brielle until she hemorrhaged and miscarried on the spot. Blood everywhere, housekeeping fainted. Morgan reported by phone. He was arrested for aggravated assault. And the final irony, the paternity test run at the hospital proved the lost child had been his. He'll never learn that a medical report of his defect was a forgery I bought years ago to keep him calm about staying child-free. His only offspring, extinguished by his own hands. When the storm passed I moved back to my parents and apologized. Mom, Dad, I was wrong. From now on I'm staying home with you. Mom stroked my hair, eyes wet. My silly girl, you finally come back to us. Sunlight poured through the window as I deleted every trace of Connor from my life. I can start over. Thanks for listening. If you liked this clip, hit like and share with friends. Drop your thoughts below. Subscribe for more stories. See you next time.